Joe, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about protein.
Yes, the best week. It's coming up. So, Joe, I got some questions about protein.
Yep.
And I'll just kind of rattle them off,
Okay.
and you can answer them off the cuff. So,
I think you'll be answering more questions than I will.
all right.
Well,
Well,
it's okay, go ahead.
why is protein an important aspect to focus on?
I don't know, John, why? No, there's a lot of reasons. So it's the most important macronutrient, especially if you have an active lifestyle. It's going to help you fuel your workouts, build muscle, restore muscle tissue, and satiate you so that you don't end up eating as much other junk in your diet when you focus on getting enough protein first. So those are just some big kind of 20,000 foot view things. How would you answer
Just
that
a
question?
couple points to add. You know, as we age, our muscle mass declines, and so focusing on protein. You know, protein. When we think of protein as a macronutrient, it's muscle building. Carbohydrates, for an athlete at least, I think of as muscle sparing. So when we come in and we work out hard, we use glycogen in our muscles to fuel through the workout. But when we have adequate protein, we can actually recover adequately and come back stronger for the next workout. And so that's why protein is really, as an athlete, an important macronutrient to focus on.
Yeah, and just practically, most people, body composition wise, want that. At least most people I talk to are going for, you want to gain muscle and lose body fat. So you're kind of going for that more like athletic build. Not that you're going to be bulging with muscles. Trust me, you have to work really, really, really hard to do that, right, John?
Yes.
Yeah. But if you want to have the body composition that most people are after, eating enough protein is essential. Like, you can't do it without eating adequate protein.
Eating enough protein for decades. Right?
Yeah.
It's a long process.
Yes.
But start today. No better time than the present.
Yep, that's right. So I heard this on a podcast recently, and you've probably heard me say it because I love it, but it was referring to jiu-jitsu. Actually, I guess there's this famous jiu-jitsu or martial arts coach who said, you're going to be something in 10 years, might as well be a black belt. Because gaining that level, it takes a long time in most martial arts, so people can just think, well, man, that's so far off. Like, it's hard to imagine working towards that. But same thing applies. Any goal you want to work towards, like, you're going to be something in 5 years. Might as well be fit and healthy and feeling good and have the body composition you want. And it's just those little small steps over time that add up that get you there eventually. You'll be something in 5 years. You'll be something in 10 years. Might as well be there.
Yep. So, Joe, what impact does protein have on our daily caloric intake?
So the amount of volume that you're going to eat when eating most forms of protein are going to fill you up more with less calories, as opposed to fats and carbohydrates. So, and fats and carbohydrates are important too. I just want to say real quick, we're not saying fats and carbs are bad, protein is good. They're all essential. But I can say, just for me personally, like, people post these things on Instagram all the time, like, how do I stay lean year round? And they're really clickbaity. And I've always thought, like, if I was going to post something like that, like, how do I stay lean year round? It's just by focusing on eating enough protein. Like, that's the main thing I do.
Yep.
There's other little habits I've developed over time that are just kind of the way I eat that contribute to that. But focusing on protein first kind of tends to make everything else fall in line.
I definitely agree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so from a body composition standpoint, I almost think of protein as free calories. And what I mean by that is when you eat protein, your body generally uses it to build muscle if you're training. The more muscle that you carry on your frame, the more calories you're going to burn, just by walking around, just by sleeping, just by training. The more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn, the more efficiently you're going to use the food that you eat.
Yeah,
and as a result, your body composition is going to change, and probably toward what your goal is.
Yep. So we'll do another video digging into some of the finer details of, how much should you get for your goals, weighing and measuring, and answer some of the common questions around protein next. All right.